think the first time in human history we don't know what our kids are going to do. You know, back in the day, you want them to be a lawyer or a doctor or a pilot or whatever, right? Like, I don't know what she's going to do when she gets out of college. Like, is she, like, can she even be a nurse anymore? Like, are those jobs going to be obsolete? It's hard for me as a parent to, like, set her up for success because I don't know what that looks like in the future.
Inspiring Business Leaders, the podcast where we dive deep with the innovators, risk takers, and disruptors who are reshaping business today.
Welcome to Inspiring Business Leaders. Today I'm with the infamous marketer Kevin Schrage, and we're going to go over some tips and tricks about how to brand yourself, market yourself, and performance-based marketing. You're the expert at that, is that right? Yep. Yeah. So this is going to have lots of great information for you if you're running a digital media agency, maybe you're a product company, you need to understand paid ads. This is one of the leaders here in San Diego. So welcome to the show, Kevin.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot. So have you always been in paid media in your professional career?
I've been in marketing for about 20 years now. My early career, dude, I'm going to date myself here, but that was whenever websites were a thing. So we were, working on websites, and we dabbled in some paid media, but back then it was way different. You basically had to like reach out to publishers and like get a quote on, say, like Yahoo, and say, hey, I want to run some ads, and they like send you a quote back, and you send some placements, and they run some ads for you. It's changed a lot now, obviously, where you can just anybody can just upload some ads and run them on the social media platforms. But I dabbled in it back then with doing a lot of other things, but not specifically on paid media.
I know sometimes paid media gets a rap where some people say it doesn't work, or it costs too much, or their ROI. They're not really seeing the ROI. How are you helping give some clarity? Are you giving them analytics reports? Are you tracking ROI? How are you helping your clients find that they're getting actually a return on their ad spend?
Yeah, I mean, it is, let me just say this, it's hard. It's not easy, which is good because then we still have a job. Most people try to spend minimal amount of money to try to make a bunch of money. And the secret with paid ads is really testing a lot of things. But in order to test a lot of things, you got to spend money. So if you're only going to spend a few $1,000s and hopefully you're like become a millionaire, it usually doesn't happen. So it's usually just consistency and just posting new creatives all the time and just testing different things that are working. But the cool thing about paid media is you get direct feedback immediately. Like the day of that you launch the ad, you'll see if it's performing or not. So yeah, we can provide those reports to the clients, show them exactly where their ROI is, how much profit they're making. But yeah, it's instantaneously now.
It's hard. I mean, so are we talking social paid or also Google PPC? Because I've noticed attribution is hard on SEO and PPC, at least with Google, to find where did this lead come from and did it convert into a sale? Do you have a solution for this?
Yeah, so we run both social media on Meta, Google, LinkedIn, a few other platforms. It gets really complicated with attribution. There are some tools out there that you can use to like kind of see where the attribution is coming from, but a lot of marketers are kind of leaning away from that and getting so obsessed with which channel this come from. And they basically are just aggregating all that data into like, they call it MER. It's like this marketing spend. Basically, whatever we spend, as long as we're profitable, we're happy. It can get really complicated if you're going to obsess over every single channel because it's multiple touch points now. Just because you saw an ad on Facebook, then you Googled somebody, then you went on ChatGPT and then like searched it there. Like it's getting really complicated, but yeah.
Do clients ever come to you and say, hey, I want to know what my ROI is on what I've spent with you in the ad campaigns? You get that question ever?
Absolutely. It's basically what we live by. And it's a blessing and a curse because when things are going good, it makes you look really awesome.
Right.
But things are not going good, it can be tough. It can be really tough.
Well, I'm in the content creation space. I don't do any distribution or ads because I think it would keep me up at night. Like, what if a campaign's not going well and this client spent tens of thousands a month and you're like, hey, sorry, I don't know, your product sucks, your service sucks, your offer sucks. I mean, it can't always be like your fault if the ad campaign's isn't going well. What do you notice is one of the biggest drawbacks to people that aren't successful with advertising online like you do it?
When I first started, I would take on anybody as a client. Somebody wanted to like run some ads, I'd be more than happy to do it. a lot of people aren't ready for it. Their business isn't ready. They don't really have their business figured out yet. Product market fit is huge, and it is stressful. I've now learned to like, that's kind of a muscle now where I don't like get so stressed out about it anymore. I just know that we're doing everything we possibly can to try to make it work, and at the end of the day, sometimes it's not the ads. I've also been in marketing for 20 years now, so I can look at a company's funnel and look at their entire marketing ecosystem and understand like where the problem really is. And I can make them aware of that. But yeah, sometimes it's, you can have the perfect funnel, but it's like the product market fit's not there or something.
Yeah, it's like going back to the fundamentals. I know I've been owned a business for a couple of decades, and I still find myself going back to the SWOT analysis or the 4 Ps, or this is the biggest one, the ICP.
Yeah.
Right? The ideal client persona. How many times do you have to go back and refine that for clients? I mean, do most of your clients just know who their ICP is, or does it shift? And how important is it to really understand who you're, advertising to?
Yeah, I mean, if it's a newer company, a startup, the ICP is always changing. A lot of times they don't know yet, and that's part of our job is to help them find their ICP, which we can do with ads. That's the beauty of ads too, is you can get that immediate feedback to find out which ICP is actually resonating with the message that you're putting out there. But it's generally a moving target when you're a new company, and then there's pivots, right? So maybe the thing that you thought was going to work isn't working. And what's cool too is sometimes you find an ICP out of nowhere. You're like, oh wow, like I didn't realize these people are buying this thing, and then next thing you know, you're catering to that audience.
So you're casting a wider, excuse me, you're casting a wider net first, and then you're drilling it down for the newer companies. You were saying,
we cast a wide net. But what we're doing when we cast that wide net is we're using message related targeting to talk to different ICPs. So we can either call them out by their demographic, or basically their pain point, or some other type of way to like talk to them. So there's many different ways to like go find your ICP. Now the algorithms are getting so good that you kind of don't even do any targeting anymore. You just kind of put different messages out there, and the platform will find those people.
Wow. I saw a great testimonial from Andrew. I always butcher his last name,
Gazdecki.
And I've always loved the guy. I've been following him on LinkedIn before he made it actually even acquire.com. But I saw a testimonial from him. What kind of work were you doing with him where he gave you such an outstanding? I love this guy. He does great work.
Yeah, so I started working with Andrew at a company called Business Apps. I started there as a marketing manager. It was an interesting company. He was in his 20s at the time. I was like 10 years older than him, and this young kid is running this company. And when I first met him, I just thought he was some young kid trying to run a company. But I was actually pretty impressed with this guy. He generally just like will do anything possible to make a company run. He's not scared to do sales calls, customer service calls, do marketing. He'll do anything and everything he needs to do to make the company run. And he's just a machine. He would work 12-hour days. He wouldn't quit on the weekends. He'd be emailing you all the time. And I learned so much from him, and he ended up exiting the company and selling it. And then that's when he started acquire.com. When he started acquire.com, it was actually MicroAcquire at the time. And he called me up. He's like, hey, dude, I just started this new company. I need some help with marketing. And him and I were jamming together for the first part of when he started, for about a year. Dude, he accelerated that thing to, I think, $1 million in revenue, got a bunch of funding, and made it to what it is today. Now it's acquire.com.
That's amazing. And what a great, I just love that he does this. You can buy a tech company for $10,000 to $10 million on that platform. It's so cool what he's done. But interesting. Yeah, I didn't know you guys had such a such a past together. That's amazing. I'm sure you learned some things. And it's amazing when you see a younger person than you, 10 years younger, come in and just like. So what did you learn from him? Did you learn anything from him that you take with you today in terms of work ethic or strategy or any of those things?
Yes. It was my first startup I worked at. And anybody that's a young kid that wants to like go learn anything about business, I highly recommend working at a startup. I'd go for like a bigger startup with, say 50 to 100 employees. But going into that environment, Dude, it's a lot of work. Like, you're just grinding every single day. You go to big corporate companies, which I've been at, you're just working through, systems that they've built over the years, and it's pretty like boring and doing spreadsheets, whatever. At a startup, things are changing all the time. Either the product's changing or the customers are changing. The one thing that I discovered working with Andrew at that company, though, is it's almost like climbing Mount Everest. Like, the summit is Mount Everest, right? But to get there, it takes thousands of steps, takes tons of training, a lot of preparation. The same thing with success. It's like, it's not just like you wake up and you're successful. It's like, dude, it's these little steps every single day and just not stopping. It's consistency.
You mentioned something about doing things or doing the hard stuff so you can get to the easy stuff. It sounds like we're getting to that, that philosophy you have. Can you tell me more about your philosophy when it comes to that?
Yeah. So I coined this phrase, hard makes easy.
Hard makes easy. That's right. It
kind of stems from a lot of things. So there's a lot of layers to this. I grew up on a farm in the Midwest. It's a hard life. At 17, I joined the Marine Corps. That's not easy. And then after that, I become an entrepreneur, which is not easy either. And I just keep putting myself in these hard situations.
And you're a father, too.
And I'm a father,
Don't forget
too,
that.
Yeah. And I started my company during COVID, by the way. That's another story.
You're a sucker for pain.
Yeah, just, gluttony for punishment. But what I discovered is, and it's actually, there's some science behind this. I don't know if you know who Andrew Huberman is. He's one of the top health and wellness podcasts. He was just talking about something called, I'm going to butcher this up, but it's called like the AMCC. It's the part of your brain called the anterior mid-circulate cortex.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think I got it right. So he basically found out, or it wasn't him, he did some study or whatever was done, that when you do challenging things, this part of your brain grows. And the more hard things you do, the more that part grows, kind of like a muscle. So it's scientifically proven that if you continually do hard things get easier for you. That's kind of where it partly stems from, but really it's just this past of everything I've done has kind of been somewhat hard, but it's made things a lot easier in life. Like, for instance, this podcast. I used to be deathly afraid of being on camera and speaking and all that stuff. As an entrepreneur, I forced myself to do content, and now it's a cakewalk now.
That's almost fun, right? Yeah, exactly. I love that. I do want to shift gears to your military experience. What did you do in the services?
Yeah, so I joined the military at 17. I got stationed here in San Diego at Miramar. I was with a helicopter squadron. This was back in '98. Aging myself here. Served 5 years. Did a couple deployments. I was there during the Iraq War, stuff like that, yeah.
What did the military teach you that you bring with you today?
I would say there's a couple of key things. Hard makes easy. Discipline, obviously, that's a big one. The one thing that I didn't appreciate when I was in is it's systems. I mean, the military can take 18 and 20-year-olds and have them do some pretty crazy things, like flying planes and steering ships and like all this crazy stuff. And the reason why they're successful at it is because they have systems in place. They can take any kid from high school, put them through some training, and then put them in these systems, and they're going to be successful. I didn't realize that while I was in. Like, I hated them because like, these systems are just make everything so boring and like, just so structured.
Very linear.
Yeah. So now after running a company, I appreciate systems, and anybody that's ever ran a business before knows that that's like the secret to success is having structure and systems.
Yeah. Amazing. Let's go to strategy for a moment. I always, like, for me personally, I struggle with strategy. I feel like companies, even big companies with AI and social media, COVID, all these things in the past 5 years, it seems like strategy is just changing. Maybe it's just me, where my strategy is changing, but is strategy for business overall in the marketing department, is it always evolving? Like, what do we do with strategy when AI comes out, for instance?
100% it's evolving. I would say anybody that spends more than, even just a couple hours on strategy is almost too much, because it's moving so fast now, especially with AI. You can come up, like, dude, if you want to build a business, you can just type it in AI and it'll give you a whole business strategy, right?
Yeah. So.
The beauty about what is happening in the marketplace too, especially with marketing, is again that immediate feedback you can get from your audience. If you're wanting to like learn something about your audience or your product or service, you can find out really quickly what resonates and what's working with them. And the other thing too is you can execute really quickly now. Like I remember it took you like months to execute on something. I can have something done in a day.
Yeah,
like it's crazy.
Right. It's crazy,
but it's cool because you can like do a lot of really cool things. You got a really tight feedback loop. You'll find out what works, and that's what's that's how a lot of startups are successful. Corporate companies are moving the Titanic, where these guys have got little bitty jet skis moving around, and they're just like bobbing and weaving and trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah. What makes you so efficient, successful? Your clients keep coming back to you, keep you on a retainer, keep doing business with you. What is it that you do for them where they're like, I love working with this guy, we're successful?
I mean, I think there's a couple of things. One is relationships. A lot of people don't want to do meetings anymore. I mean,
Guilty. No, sorry.
I honestly, I'm not a fan of doing a bunch of meetings either, but we actually get excited to like have meetings with clients and have that one-on-one time and build that relationship. So that's, I think, a very key thing. And I always tell my employees, you can screw everything up as long as communication is key. Like that'll usually be or keep a client happy, So that's one thing. The other thing is we're obsessive of making them successful. Again, we have that really tight feedback loop with running ads, and we can find out really quickly what's working and it's not working. The way we work, it's very simple. Our clients have a KPI, and the KPI is either cost per lead or cost per sale, and we have that on our dashboard. Like this client needs to be here, and this client needs to be here. And if we're going above that KPI, we're all like on it, trying to figure out how we can get that back down. If it's below the KPI, we're happy and we're smooth sailing. But
how are you working with AI in your industry? Because I know AI is built into now, I believe, Meta advertising, and I don't know about Google PPC. I know there's some AI in there to optimize your campaign. It'll give you AI suggestions. Are you using AI to help your clients and being more efficient and hitting their KPIs?
Yes, we're using AI with absolutely everything now. And it's pretty insane. So we're being careful. We're not really plugging all of our clients right into the Claude right now. We're testing it in some silos, but I don't want that to go in there and screw everything up. But we're using it with data, so it can look at. You get so much data from it when you run ads. You have no idea how many points of data you got. You can just toss that into the Claude or whatever, and it tells you what's going on inside the account. Tells you why things are successful. We're doing it to write copy. That's what we started doing right away. Is we started writing copy with it. There's no longer this hour of staring at a blank page trying to figure out what you're going to write for the customer. Dude, you just crank out a ton of copy really fast. And again, we have that really quick feedback loop. We just write some copy, throw it in there, test it, see if it works or not. And then now it's what's crazy, and it's blowing my mind every day, is the ability to not only create static images from AI, but I'm sure you've seen this now, where we're actually using AI to create 100% video. We're not. It's literally keyboard to video. We're not doing anything else, and we're able to create ads from that.
Right. Yeah, I'm doing the same, even though I'm a production agency. I mean, yeah, and it's amazing. I actually just showed Marcus this awesome video we did for one of our clients, and it's still not perfect, but it's almost good enough. But there's something that, I still think the human touch for certain videos is important, like podcasting. You can have an avatars and they can talk to each other on podcasting, but is there going to be a line drawn between, humanity and technology, or are we just all, is it all just going to be AI in 3 to 5 years? What's your guess?
The one thing that sticks out to me, first of all, I think everybody's going to be on kind of a level playing field because all the tools are going to be there for them. The one thing that sticks out to me is something that I've been noticing is human effort. If you see a lot of human effort put into something, I think people appreciate it more. If it's all 100% AI, I think people are going to brush it off. But even in your space, I've seen guys from Hollywood doing AI video, like 100% AI videos with these big companies getting paid $150,000 a video. And it's just keyboard to production, right? But they know the ins and outs of writing a good script. Right. They know camera angle and the cinematic look, and like I don't know those things, but they know those things and how to put that together and make a really good video. But yeah, I think human effort is going to be like the one thing that's going to be like perceived value in the future.
Yeah, you still, because they actually, it's already here in many ways, and it's like, how smart are you at prompting the AI, putting it together? I'll be honest, I saw the Super Bowl and I was a little disappointed how much AI was used in some of the commercials, because I have nothing against AI content creation. It's just, you can still kind of tell. And I'm not like, oh, that AI video I saw was great. Do you have any AI videos that you know off the top of your head where you're like, oh, that was really engaging. I want to see that again, or that really moved me?
Yeah, I mean, there's a pretty famous one that was, I forgot the guy's name, but he did the one for Kalshi. I don't know if you've seen this one. It's a website where you can like basically bet on anything. But what he did a cool take on AI and made it very humorous. So that way, like, it was obvious it's AI, but the scenes in it you couldn't really do with humans. Like, he had people jumping out of skyscrapers and I don't know, but he did a really good job with that commercial to like add some humor to it, and like everybody knew it was AI, but there was really good script writing done.
Yeah. The only one that really comes to mind for me is, do you remember when Google VO3 came out and they did the one where there's like comedians talking about how they are AI? Did you see that one?
I didn't see that one, no.
Oh yeah, Google, of course it was Google VO3 who made the video, but it was so good. It was like, you would think it was actually the opposite. You would think these are real people and not AI. And they're like making fun of AI, and I mean, it was. Did you see that one, Marcus? The one that was done by Google VO3, where there was like the stand-up comedian was talking about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was awesome. Actually, it's getting Marcus on the line here, our producer behind the scenes. Is him and I both experienced something that's hurt our business significantly, and I don't know if any of our viewers have been through this, but we're going to talk about it. We've been blacklisted from Meta advertising. Right, Marcus? And Marcus started a clothing company. I have my video production and my photo studio. Two great things to be marketing on Meta. But we can't seem to have this. First of all, we don't know what we did because you can't talk to anybody. And we can't get our permissions back. Have you have you heard of this thing?
Dude, I've had this happen to me so many times.
Okay.
With so many different clients. Meta is so frustrating. You can't talk. Well, I have ways to like get a hold of people now because I've been doing it a while, and I have some like people at Meta that I can talk to. But even though I have people that I can talk to, they still don't have access to like, they won't tell you what went wrong or why things got banned. But it's destroyed some of my clients, like not really destroyed their businesses, but it really hurt them bad, because a lot of clients that I work with, that's their life. That's like a livelihood of their business is ads. Like they run ads to gain their clients, and as soon as their account gets shut down, it's almost game over.
So we're not alone in this thing, and we don't know why. Marcus, what did you do to get banned?
Still don't know.
You don't know. And I mean, you have a good wholesome clothing brand. It's not like you're doing anything illicit.
Something with the access or permission. Maybe we had two people logged into the account or something, but it's like you get restricted, and then by trying to get out, you get deeper restricted. We've paid hundreds of dollars to like Meta professionals, former people that worked at Meta, and they haven't been able to figure it out.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I don't know why. It seemed like they'd want the money, you know?
Yeah, I think one thing that's happening now is I feel like AI is starting to like run the restrictions, because we just have recently had this happen to us, and there's no explanation at all of why this person got restricted, but like I kind of think AI is starting to run the show, and they like flag it for something stupid, I don't know, and then it's funny because Meta won't like reverse the decision either. It's like it's kind of like just done.
Mm-hmm. Now you have a daughter. How old's your daughter?
She's 4.
She's 4. How do you feel about the future for her with the onset of AI and all this stuff? Oh,
man. I've been having a lot of conversations about this lately. One thing that I think has been really toying with me is the idea that I think the first time in human history we don't know what our kids are going to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, back in the day, you want them to be a lawyer or a doctor or a pilot or whatever, right? Like, I don't know what she's going to do when she gets out of college. Like, is she, like, can she even be a nurse anymore? Like, are those jobs going to be obsolete? So that part is, it's hard for me as a parent to like set her up for success because I don't know what that looks like in the future.
Right. There's just an uncertainty. Is like our robot, because everybody, you know, I've had so many guests on this podcast to talk about, oh, well, when the Industrial Revolution started, we thought that, you know, when we went to cars, that horses were going to be obsolete. And then we went to radio or TV, we thought radio was going to be obsolete. All this, you know, this innovation was how it's going to change the world. And I think at some point, maybe the innovation does catch up with us. I mean,
I think somebody famously said, we're going to evolve faster in the next 5 years than we did in the last 100 years.
Or more.
And I believe it.
Yeah. And the last 100 years, we've probably evolved more than we had in the past thousands of years. I mean, it seems like, well, you know, there's been great inventions, but I mean, I would put AI up there with fire and the wheel, in terms of maybe impact on humanity. And it's only 3 years old. It's already made such a huge impact on us. What are you trying to do to, you know, keep yourself grounded and as your daughter gets older and starts going, you know, getting older and you know, experiencing the world, what are morals and ethics that you're bringing to her to help raise her how you feel correctly?
Yeah, I got a pretty simple mantra. It's be a good person and do great things. Also, I got hard makes easy. So, you know, one thing that I've been trying to do a lot, I've always enjoyed nature. I do a lot of hiking. I get out to the outdoors. There's this idea that, you know, we're shifting into this virtual reality world and all that good stuff too. Like, so it's really like living in reality and like nature and like tangible things of life. I think too, with like not knowing where a career is going to be going in the future, I want her to like be a very creative person, be able to like solve problems and like critically think and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, again, to be a good person, just do great things.
I love that. You know, I tend to think that I'm 45 and you?
45.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I tend to think, and I'm not trying to be egotistical here, but I think we lived in probably the greatest time in history of human history. I mean, we got the 80s, best music ever, 90s, another, like two of the greatest decades of music, two of the greatest decades of movies, TV shows, toys. To me, with the technology advancement, I kind of feel like we're regressing a little bit. I feel like the people that are in the, you know, 12 to 24 range, they're feeling almost reminiscent of our time. Like I'm like, you know, and I don't know, Marcus, I don't know how much, you know, your generation, because you're right at the edge of, right in the middle of the Gen Z, but you know, there's this realness that we grew up with where now it's like, you know, we have dating apps. We were locked down. We're on social media constantly watching these short, quick videos. Our attention spans are getting destroyed. Relationships are harder than ever. What do you think was the best part of growing up in the 80s and 90s as a youngster?
See, I grew up on a farm in the Midwest, so being outside and just doing stuff and getting dirty and riding bikes and four-wheelers and whatever it was, that was like a magical time. Now I see, like, we live in San Diego here in the suburbs, and to get my daughter to go outside, it's like this concrete jungle. It's way different than I grew up. We were climbing trees and doing all this stuff, and that part, it's tough to, like, obviously we can't really relive that.
Okay, so I got some rapid fire questions for you, Kevin. You ready?
Ready.
So these could be like a word or a sentence, like real quick, all right? What's the hardest easy thing you do every day?
Just recently got a cold plunge. Not that it's the secret to success, but it's hard, but it gets easy after you do it for a while.
Nice. Yeah, that is hard. Describe one word the Marine Corps... one word that describes the Marine Corps influence on your business.
The Marine Corps has it's basically honor, courage, commitment. I would think courage is a big one. the courage to go do things. Yeah.
What's the most overrated metric in performance marketing?
Views, impressions.
Doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean anything, no.
Most underrated skill for an entrepreneur in 2026?
Underrated skill. I would say grit.
Grit. Tell me more. What does that mean to you?
Everybody has access to basically everything now, like all the knowledge in the world. Back in the day, you didn't. I mean, if you want to do something, you just got to do it. Just got to be resilient.
And you're probably going to fail 80% to 90% of the time. Maybe you squeak through with a win, right? It's true, especially being an entrepreneur. What's one thing that corporate America is consistently gets wrong about marketing?
Corporate America is having a problem building trust with their consumers. Consumers are really intelligent now. They have access to a lot of information, and they're just not authentic. They try to control this narrative, and they basically become liars.
Do you think they focus enough on branding? I've always been really like to think about branding, and I'm not necessarily the best at it, but I have a feeling that branding is maybe an underrated thing as well in corporate America. Like, how important is branding elements to your marketing mix?
Yeah, I mean, I think corporate America is good at creating that brand image, but they're not good storytellers. That's where these small companies end up taking over corporate companies, is because they have a really good story behind them.
Yeah, the story. Yeah, that's a good, I like that. That's a good one. Also, I think one of the things, and this goes for entertainment too, is we're living in a time, and in marketing in general, where they only want to do the repeatable things. You don't see any new superheroes coming out. They're just repeating the same superheroes, right? Even for your kids. I mean, sure, for your kids. It's still Little Mermaid. It's still Lion King. It's still Superman. It's still Batman. Are companies just like, oh, now we have the data to know what works. We're just going to stick with that. And then what's that going to do to us creatively?
I mean, I said courage, right? I mean, people need to have the guts to go be creative again. And then it's the way I talked about with AI. Like, AI is a brilliant tool that it can kind of you just think of something and it can create it, right? Well, let's get some people to be more creative and come up with some really cool, spectacular things, because we have those tools at our disposal now.
Yeah, I mean, we have K-pop Demon Hunters. I was like,
oh my gosh, my daughter got into that one.
Oh my god, it's not Little Mermaid. No. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Whatever. I don't know much. So, what's a soft skill that actually drives hard results?
Yeah, I want to go back to guts and courage. A lot of people want to play it safe, especially when it comes to marketing, and especially at corporate companies. They're the ones that are always trying to be super safe with everything. I mean, I used to be at some bigger companies, and you go in these executive meetings and you pitch something and nobody wants to touch it because it's not what they've done in the past or whatever. So I think
that's it. It frustrates me too. It's just boring.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep repeating the same shit over and over again. That's where we're at, huh?
But then you get the Jake Pauls of the world that do have guts. A lot of people hate him, but dude, he's doing something right. He's getting that attention.
He really does, huh? Okay. What do you want your legacy to be for your daughter?
I'm gonna go back to being a good person and doing great things. I always have this other thing I say too. I want to live a life worth telling future generations about, and I kind of want her to live up to that. Set her up for success.
Okay, got it. Well, we're gonna wrap this up. So a couple things: courage. You use AI, use your own God-given talent, but bring it into AI and see what you can come up with. What else did we discuss today, Kevin?
Hard makes easy.
Yeah, grit. Grit. All that stuff. Yeah. I guess my last question I'm going to leave you with is about performance-based marketing, since you're the wizard on this. We have product companies and we have service-based companies. For either of these companies, if you're they're not going to work with you, but you want to give the best piece of advice to people, what would it be when it comes to performance-based marketing?
I would say start producing content. Whether it's organic content or trying to do paid content, start producing content. I think the number one hire that any company can make right now, if you can afford it, is a good content manager. And those don't come cheap. I mean, I've seen listings out there now, the $200,000 to $300,000 range, and it could be a kid that's just out of college,
Wow.
but have obsessed over content, really understand it. It's funny because the 20-year-olds right now, the ones that understand it probably better than anybody.
Yeah.
Dude, if you want to get a high-paying job right now, become obsessed with content and help these big companies figure it out.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, Kevin. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next episode. And if you want to reach Kevin, tell them where they can reach you at.
You can find me on brainerarrow.com or at Kevin Schrage on the socials.
Thank you so much. Peace out.
Let's have them do the plug at the end one more time.
Yeah, because of that. Yeah. Where can we find you at, Kevin?
You can find me on brandarrow.com or on the socials. You can find me at Kevin Schrage, Schrage.
All right, my man. Thank you
Right
so
on.
much, brother.
Good stuff.
Great to have you.
Yeah.